Hello and welcome back to Cinnamon Sanctuary. Today we're making chicken stew. This is taking me straight back to my childhood. This is how my mother used to do it. And I'm going to replicate this. Please stay tuned if you're interested in finding out how this gets done. Bye! For the blended mix, you will need 2 red peppers, an onion sliced in half, a tin of chopped tomatoes, and you will also need tomato puree, about 2 tablespoons. Here's some seasoning. We've got some parsley, aromat, chicken seasoning, and all-purpose seasoning. You'll also need some ginger, garlic, thyme, and a couple of bay leaves. I've sliced some red onion to throw into the stew, and you also need salt and pepper. My daughter really wanted to help here, so this is her holding up the ginger, garlic, and onion. And we're going to mix this up. Half of this mixture is going to be used to season the chicken, and the other half I'm going to throw into I'm going to use this with the chopped tomato, pepper, and onion mix, basically. Now I'm just about to go in and season the chicken. So I'm using about 1 kilo of chicken, which has been washed and cleaned with some lemon and water. And I'm just throwing in some seasoning. And the idea is to steam the chicken until it's about cooked at 80%. And at this point, I'll just put the chicken under the grill to give it a little bit of color and then set it aside. And at some point, I'll show you later, the chicken will be added into the stew. So that's the idea. I find it much healthier to steam it and then grill it instead of frying it before adding the tomato mix. Now that the chicken is steaming on medium heat, we're just going to blend the chopped tomatoes, red peppers, and the remaining onion. And we're going to blend this together and put this into our pot and let the whole mix steam as well. At the point it's steamed, that's when we can start adding in the oil and onions and all the seasonings, and you'll see it's going to look lovely. And again, I like to do it this way because I just end up using a lot less oil when I steam the tomatoes first. I just poured the blended tomato and pepper mix in the pot, and I'm going to let this steam for about 20 to 30 minutes on medium heat. I'm just going back to check on the chicken, and remember I added in some all-purpose seasoning, chicken seasoning, dried parsley, and thyme, as well as the ginger, onion, and garlic mix, and I'm just mixing that all together to make sure it's all nicely combined. And I'm going to leave this in for a further, I think the whole thing takes about 20 minutes to cook. As I mentioned, we don't want this to cook entirely because this is going to go back into the grill. It's been just under 20 minutes later, and the chicken is steamed, not fully done as mentioned, and now the chicken pieces can be served up, plated up on the tray, at which point we're going to put the whole chicken under the grill. The steamed chicken has produced this stock. It's pure gold. Please don't throw it away. Just keep it to the side and we're going to use it for our stew. I'm just drizzling about 1 tablespoon of oil on the chicken. This is going to help it brown once it's being grilled. And it actually doesn't take long for the chicken to grill at this point. I think about 5-6 minutes on each side, and you'll have to turn it over, let it grill on the other side, and then set aside. Here is the end result. The chicken is fully done now, nice and golden brown on both sides, and ready to be tossed into our stew towards the end, as I will show you in a minute. So our tomato and pepper mix has been steaming for about 25 minutes, and what you're looking for is for the mix to adopt this drier consistency. So it started out very liquidy and now it's a lot drier, and that's what you're looking for. At this point you're going to add the oil and your seasonings as well. And I'm not adding a lot of oil because we are also going to add the chicken stock, and the chicken stock also has quite a bit of oil from the skins. So at this point I think I only added about the equivalent of 5 tablespoons of oil, and we just added in the tomato puree as well. You can use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, and I'm just mixing that in to make sure that it's nicely combined in the tomato mix. And we're also going to add the onion at this point, as well as all of the seasoning, and let the whole mix cook for maybe about 5 minutes before adding the chicken stock. By way of seasoning, I'm using the exact same seasonings I used to season the chicken. So just some all-purpose seasoning, chicken seasoning, a bit of aromat, and a little bit of parsley, and some salt and pepper to taste as well. You want to be careful with the salt because all of the seasonings I'm using here already have salt, so it's literally just to taste, and you can adjust the seasoning as required. I also went in with a bit of thyme, and as usual, the scotch bonnet pepper. Again, the children are not keen on very spicy food, but I like to add in a whole scotch bonnet for the flavor. It adds so much extra flavor, and I ensure that it doesn't pop in the stew because we don't want it to end up very spicy. At this point we can also go in with our chicken stock, our little present from the steamed chicken, and we're just going to add this in and let the whole thing come to a boil before adding our chicken pieces. And tell me, I can't be the only one doing this, but every time I empty, I don't know, some stock or a tin tomato into the pot, I have to rinse it out. I have to make sure that I rinse everything out because I can't bear to waste anything. Everything is good. We have to use it all. So once the stew has come to a boil after the chicken stock has been added, now is a good time to add our chicken pieces. If you want your stew to be rather liquidy, you won't have to leave this on for any longer than 10 more minutes. If you want the stew to be a little bit thicker, then you'll have to let it cook for a further 17 minutes. On very low heat because you don't want the bottom to burn. I like my stew to be rather on the thicker side, so I left it in for about 12 minutes after I've added the chicken in, at which point it will be done. And here is the final result. Our chicken stew is done, fully done. It's ready to be served up. I like to eat this with some white rice, but when I was little, I still prefer to eat it with white rice, but sometimes my mother would also serve it with some type of swallow, some type of corn-based swallow. So feel free to make some eba or banku or whatever you have in mind in terms of swallow, or just rice or rice and peas. Couscous is nice with this as well. Long story short, this can be enjoyed in many different ways. And guys, just look at how red this is looking. This is a perfect combination of flavors, perfect marriage of flavors. The kitchen is smelling amazing at this point. And I'm about to serve this up with some rice and vegetables. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, look at this. Yes. Going in, dishing up with my 2 pieces of chicken, as if I'm ever going to eat 2 pieces. I was going to have 1 piece, but I need to dish it up to let you guys see what it looks like. And then usually what happens is I take off 1 piece if I'm going to eat it, because I'm not going to have 2. And my husband wasn't home at this point, so that was my dinner. And look at this perfection right here. Feast your eyes on this dish. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment and a like. And if you are going to replicate the dish, let me know what it looks like. And I'll see you very soon on the next video. Bye!